It was 3 o'clock in the morning. The rain fell softly on the empty streets of an old American town. Somewhere in the distance, a stray dog barked, as if it had seen something invisible, something that didn't belong in this world. But the real terror wasn't outside. It waited at the end of that road, where an old 6-story building stood, abandoned for more than 25 years. It was once called the Hollow Care Hospital. People whispered that no patient ever made it out alive, and tonight someone was going back inside. David, a young YouTuber who ran a channel called Exploring the Dark, faced the camera and said, "All right guys, tonight we're going inside that infamous abandoned hospital, the one people say still echoes with the screams of its patients." He wasn't alone. His friend Mila was with him, though to her it was nothing more than another thrill-seeking video. They turned on their flashlights, pushed the heavy metal door open, and a wave of cold, damp air hit their faces. Inside, everything was rotten and falling apart. Old files were scattered across the floor. The walls were stained with something that looked disturbingly like dried blood, and a broken light fixture swung slowly from the ceiling. David laughed nervously. "It's just the wind, don't worry," he said. But Mila's uneasy eyes told a different story. The deeper they walked into the building, the heavier the air became. From one of the dark hallways came faint sounds, slow footsteps, soft coughing, and something being dragged across the floor. David turned the camera toward the noise, but there was nothing there. Just an old hospital bed, slowly rolling across the floor on its own. "Must be some air draft," he whispered. Mila's voice shook as she said, "David, all the windows are sealed shut." The two stood frozen for a moment. Then suddenly, the sound of heavy boots echoed from the far end of the hallway. They spun around, the flashlight shaking in David's hand, but no one was there. When they turned back, the door behind them had slammed shut. David tried to pull the door open, but it was locked tight from the inside. His flashlight began to flicker violently before going out completely. When the light returned, something new had appeared on the wall. A single sentence written in what looked like fresh blood. "You shouldn't have come." Mila gasped, her breath quick and shallow. David's hands trembled as he took a step back, and suddenly something grabbed his shoulder hard. He spun around, but there was nothing behind him. Nothing at all. They decided to head for the basement, hoping to find another exit. "We'll find a way out down there," David said. The stairs groaned beneath their feet as they descended. The air grew colder. At the bottom stretched a long, narrow corridor, filled with rusted gurneys, cracked oxygen masks, and old wheelchairs. In the center stood an ancient surgical table, and on it a dark figure seemed to be sitting. David lifted the flashlight toward it, and the figure vanished. Then came the screams. Loud, echoing, endless screams, dozens of voices crying out in agony. Mila covered her ears and screamed. David dropped his camera. From the speaker, only the haunting audio played. "Help me. Don't leave me here. I can't feel my body." David picked up his flashlight and pointed it toward the wall. Names were carved into the peeling paint, names of patients who had once been treated there. But one name stopped him cold. David Mila, room 13. His blood ran cold. Mila's eyes widened. "That's your name? You've never been here before. How is that even possible?" David's voice cracked as he whispered, I was born in this hospital." A sudden crash from above interrupted him. A metal stretcher fell from the ceiling. On it lay a decaying corpse. With a face identical to David's, Mila screamed and ran. Darkness consumed every corner. Doors slammed around her as she sprinted through the halls. From every direction came whispers, footsteps, and the sound of someone breathing right behind her. She burst into an old patient ward and froze. In the center of the room stood a nurse. Her uniform yellowed with age, her eyes dark and hollow. Her skin was pale, almost gray, her face completely lifeless. The nurse tilted her head slowly and whispered, "I didn't call you back. So why did you come?" Mila stepped backward, only to realize the door behind her had closed. The nurse lifted a syringe filled with thick white smoke. She moved closer and closer until everything went black. The next morning, police received a report. 2 YouTubers had gone missing after entering the old Hollow Care Hospital. Their camera was found lying in the basement. The final frame showed David's lifeless body. And behind him, written in dripping red letters, "The hospital never lets go." The building was sealed again. But even now, locals say if you pass by at night, you can hear the faint beeping of a camera coming from deep inside, as if someone is still recording. If you've ever heard strange sounds in an empty place or felt footsteps behind you when no one was there, maybe, just maybe, you already know that some places are never truly abandoned. This was the abandoned hospital, a place where time stops and the souls never leave. If you enjoyed this story, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next terrifying tale from Hauntra TV, where the darkness never ends.